everyone's favorite ranking system, today's top 5. In case you forgot what today's top 5 is, it is where Steve and I rank 1 through 5 of whatever we feel like talking about today. This time it's going to be who has the most to gain from the NFL playoffs this season. As we just mentioned with Lamar and Josh Allen, a lot on the line for a lot of people this year, but who actually has the most to gain? We're going to go through it in today's top 5. So here we have it. Get into today's top 5, starting from the bottom and working our way up. Number 5, Jaden Daniels. And listen, I know you guys are saying, what, Jaden Daniels? What is Jaden Daniels getting out of the NFL playoffs this year? Well, folks, I'll tell you. Probably going to be Rookie of the Year. Should be Rookie of the Year.
Probably.
Without a doubt. Not high expectations for what he is supposed to do or going to do with the Washington Commanders. Almost said Redskins. Washington Commanders. He then takes them to the playoffs. No one expected. Then wins a game on the road in Tampa, who everyone should know that is the Sounds team, Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yes.
Beats them on the road, one of 3 or 4 rookie quarterbacks to ever do that in history. Now he goes into this weekend in these playoffs. It's only going to get harder. Could be Patrick Mahomes. Then goes on to the title game. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going on? Or excuse me, could be the Lions that go on the title game. Who knows what's happening? The number 1 team in the NFC for the whole season, Super Bowl favorite, could get knocked out by a rookie. Never happened before. It would be a crazy thing to happen. So I think Jaden Daniels, number 5 on today's top 5.
What Jaden Daniels has done is he has taken a team that a lot of people didn't believe in. You know, Washington, being a Washington fan from just a different franchise in the city, Washington bleeds for their teams, and they really, really have a solid fan base, and the Redskins have been mediocre for years. And for Jaden Daniels, not only as a rookie, but for him to come in and be able to lead this early in his career as a rookie and take them to a chance to go to the NFC title game. Number 5 might even be a smidge low, but yeah, he's definitely got a ton to gain from this.
Yeah. Number 4, the entire Philadelphia Eagles team. A little bit out there. I'm sure not many people are surprised that we have this on the list, especially for me. There has been a not great narrative surrounding the Eagles, no matter where you look. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown having their conflictions. I mean, Jalen Hurts not having a great season. A.J. Brown, it had a weird season. Nick Sirianni, who we're going to get into later. Now, Saquon Barkley has been great. I got his impact wrong on what he was going to do for Philly. But Philly has a chance to kind of shove all that in the past if they can win the Super Bowl, if they can even get to the Super Bowl. I think that getting there after this season with all the extra stuff, regardless of our record and success, would be a feat in its own. And I think that's what Philly needs to kind of have a hard reset and get that kind of extra talk and the extra backlog out and kind of feel more confident in themselves. Like, that was all just noise and distraction.
If I was just going to add one part to that, Jalen Hurts, one of the things for him, 2022 takes the team to the Super Bowl. People in Philly are like, we found our guy. This is our franchise quarterback. Comes out last season, a lot of turnover issues. All of a sudden, people asking, was 2022 a fluke? So I think this, in a way, has a ton of meaning, not just to the Eagles as a franchise alone, but also to Jalen Hurts as validation that 2022 was not just a fluke, but also that he is and will be worthy of that contract that Philly signed him to. Because as you know, being a Philly fan, it is arguably, if not arguably, the hardest place in sports to play.
Yeah.
And there are expectations, whether fair or not, that are placed on you when you are the guy. And both Sirianni and Jalen Hurts have a microscope over them right now, so they have a ton to gain.
Yeah.
Coming in next on our list at number 3, Josh Allen. This season for Josh Allen, with the MVP aspirations, being the front runner, right? Losing all of the pieces that he did last season. At the beginning of this season, you and me both picked the Dolphins to win the division. Obviously, Josh Allen has found a gear that we didn't know he had, and he elevated this team with some receivers that I've never heard of and a defense that some have said have been shaky at times this season, right? And these playoffs specifically, in my opinion, is the most important in his career. They have the Ravens coming to Buffalo, and he's playing against the reigning MVP at home. I just think that winning this game at this point in time in his career would be the most meaningful game so far. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to talk about that AFC Championship game, but for me, what this game means for him just in his career to be able to prove that he can get back to the AFC Championship game. He's only been there once. So getting back is huge for him. And just cementing himself as arguably the greatest quarterback in Buffalo Bills history. And this is a game and these playoffs to be able to win a Super Bowl, get to the Super Bowl, it would be the most validating moment in the career of a guy who we have already said is an elite quarterback in the league. Going to the Super Bowl through Lamar Jackson and through who we would believe to win the Texans-Chiefs game, Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, being able to go through those two and get to the Super Bowl, it would cement him as right now the best player in the world in football.
And let me ask you this, because I was thinking about this as you were talking. We don't hold a lot of weight normally, like in the NBA. We don't hold a lot of weight for conference finals appearances there. The AFC and NFC title games hold a little more weight than the NBA. Now, not that it's going to be a big needle mover, but I'm not going to be mad if someone says this person has X amount of Super Bowls and X amount of conference titles appearances. Like that kind of stuff is what, as we said before, what separates the goods from the greats. So only adding more resume stuff for Josh Allen. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. Now, as we mentioned earlier, a lot riding for Josh Allen and Lamar in this current game, but a lot riding for Lamar Jackson's career in winning the Super Bowl. Steve, there are 3 quarterbacks right now who have at least 2 MVPs and at least 1 Super Bowl ring. You know who those people are?
Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
One more.
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson is now going or could enter that elite company. And as we said earlier, there has been one thing missing from his resume, and that is performing in the playoffs. You then have your multiple MVP seasons. Like I said, a lot of people think Lamar should have or should win this season. You'll have all the stats in the world, passing, running, and then you'll have a Super Bowl and all the playoff stuff. I mean, it's like I said, it's just the one thing that he's missing, and it's going to be really hard to put Lamar Jackson in like a non-elite or not all-time great category. I mean, like it's the one thing he's missing. This could be the chance to cement it and then some.
I'm going to give you a really bold statement. A Super Bowl win for Lamar Jackson this year puts him in the top 10 all time. Lamar Jackson this season is the first quarterback ever to go have 40 touchdowns and fewer than 5 interceptions. Yeah. Lamar Jackson is the first quarterback ever to have 4,000 passing yards and over 900 yards rushing. He founded that club.
Yeah.
To cap off another MVP-esque season with a Super Bowl win. I can't think of many players or many quarterbacks that I would put ahead of a Lamar Jackson who is already cemented himself as the greatest rushing quarterback of all time, dual threat quarterback of all time, and add a Super Bowl win to the 2 MVPs and a potential Super Bowl MVP as well, he would have a case for 10. He would have a case. I would have a hard time putting guys over him. So that's what he has to gain this season.
And I think it's really impressive. Look at the route. He beats a divisional rival, a tough team who has had his number in Pittsburgh. Then he goes and beats we're assuming MVP and number 1 or 2 team in the NFL, Josh Allen. Yep. Then he goes and beats Patrick Mahomes, enough said. Then he would go on to beat, again, we're assuming the Lions or Eagles, who have been the 2 best teams in the NFC all season. Like, there's not much more to be said at that point. Now, it is only 1 run, but it's 1 run more that he doesn't have. So he needs something, yeah.
And last but not least, at the number 1 spot on our list, Patrick Mahomes. Now, I know what you're saying. You know, how can he have the most to gain? He's already done it. Let me lay this out for you real quick. There have been a total of 9 quarterbacks that have ever gone back-to-back in the Super Bowl. Out of those 9 quarterbacks, the Chiefs have the best record in the 3rd season following with 15-2. The only team that can come close was the 1988 Niners. Only 4 have made it back to the second round in that third season. There's only 3 of them have made it to the AFC Conference title game. Nobody has ever made it back to the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, you and me already think that he's the greatest quarterback of all time. With a three-peat, he would not only be the greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion, he would immediately be one of the greatest American athletes of all time. And to cement that with a three-peat, and assuming he wins a third Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes has a chance in these playoffs to immediately kick the door of the GOAT conversation in. People can scream Tom Brady till the end of the earth, but up to this point in both of their careers, if you look at what they would have done if Mahomes wins this Super Bowl, it would not be close. Patrick Mahomes has a chance to cement himself at number 1 with the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be, but we might be in the minority that believes even right now Patrick Mahomes might have an argument, and not even might. He does have an argument for being number 1 right now. So, and like you said, in our opinion, he wins this one. I think it's inarguable. There is nothing anyone's going to be able to tell me after a three-peat and 4 rings that Patrick Mahomes is not better than Tom Brady. I mean, listen, shout out to the GOAT. Well, almost former GOAT now. Has done a lot of things. Respectable career. One of the all-time greats across all sports. But like you said, from the get-go, the run Mahomes has been on and what he has achieved and the stats he has, it's just there's no comparison. There is no comp. There is no he's like this. No, there is nothing else. There is no one else that he's 1-on-1.
I can't think across sports, there are very few individuals that the moment they've stepped on the field as a starter, that they have been this level of greatness.
Yeah, because it was he started, and then at the end of that season, everyone was like, "Yeah, this guy's the best player in the league." It was unanimous. There was no one else arguing against it. It was just how it was. And I'm gonna pull. Hopefully, I can find this clip and pull it up too. I said, a shows ago, I believed in no other franchise more in American sports to win long term more than the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not really sure of another franchise that I have more confidence in to win long term more than the Chiefs, across all sports. I don't have as much faith in any of the franchise than I do the Chiefs to continue winning championships. And so far, that's still the case. So, go back through our today's top 5 most to gain from these NFL playoffs. Number 5, Jaden Daniels. Number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 2, Lamar Jackson. And number 1, our today's top 5, Patrick Mahomes. Today's top 5.
Listen to the sound. I listen to the sound.